Okay. So another important uh, element is iframe, and it will give you a lot of issues if you don't know how to handle it. Okay. So first, let us understand what is iframe. Okay. I yeah. So on the HTML document, okay, we see iframes, and elements are embedded inside this frame. Okay, so how it will be on the document, this browser HTML document, it will be with a tag name iframe. Okay, and if element inside this iframe, you won't be able to access that element directly how we are using like diver.find element dot click or something, or dot enter or enter text, right? So you have to see if your, and these are very common nowadays means development practices, like many elements will be inside the iframe. So first we have to see if we are not we this element is in a iframe. Okay, and then if it is in iframe, so we have to switch to iframe. Okay, so we here also we have to switch to that frame, and there's a driver like how we switch to alert, so there's a switch to frame also is there available there method, and there it comes handy for us to handle these kind of elements. And it's very, if you didn't know, and if it is inside a frame, you will try to click, or if you try to enter something, it will fail. Okay, your test will fail based on this. So what we have to do to work with the frames on the page, we have to switch between the frames. Okay, and as I said, to switch we need to utilize uh, like driver dot switch to frame, and this provide a different method means this overloaded methods, I would say, means it accept various things. It accept indexes of the frame, it accept name of the frame, okay, or it accept the id element locator of that. So we element locator also we can switch to this frame, right? Any question on like specifically on this iframe before we move to? So I hope you understood like what is iframe, how it will be there on the page. Okay, so let us see how we identify this. Okay, let us go back to this, and you see frames here. Okay, now we have nested frames and frames. So let's take iframe, and if I have to enter some text here, so let us inspect this. Okay, so this is inside a frame ID, this one. Okay, if you don't switch to this frame, you won't be able to enter text, any text here. Okay, so first let us write a test to come to this page. Okay, public void handle iframe. Okay, so what we have to do first, we have to click by link text, right? And it's frames, I guess, dot click. It is frames, right? So when we clicked on the frames, we have to identify again, we have to click on this iframe. This is also a link. So let me copy this link. Okay, let me copy this statement. Again, we have to click 2 times to navigate to that, and that is iframe. Okay, so now we navigated to that place. So what we have to do, as I said, we have to switch to that frame. Okay, so first we need to identify that frame. Okay, so let us click here, and I see that frame is available with the ID. Okay, so let's copy this ID. Driver dot, okay, sorry, web element. Okay, and I say element driver dot find element by ID. ID is there, right? Okay, so this way we get the frame element locator, web element, right? Now what we have to do, we have to switch, as I said, we have to switch to this frame dot frame. Now you see the frame, you can switch by indexes. If there are multiple frames on the page, so you have to switch by indexes, 1, 2, 3, right? This you can switch with the name or ID also, or you can switch with the web element. So currently we are using this web element, okay, and element, or I can directly provide the frame also ID here, this one, it will work. Okay, once you switch to this frame, let us see, I want to type something here. So what is the it will be, I think, inside this HTML, and that is IDs, body IDs, tiny MCE. Okay, so let us see, suppose after switching to frame, I need to find element by ID, and ID is, okay, dot send text. So suppose something I want to text, this is inside iframe. Okay, so this I want to write, and once you perform your action, whatever you want to perform that particular element, you can come, we have to come back to the default content. Okay, this you don't forget to switch the frame, switch to default content, otherwise you will face other issues. Okay, so if you switch to frame, also remember to switch back to the default content, right? Okay, let's run quickly. Okay, so it should go to frames page, then iframe, it will click, okay, and it types this is inside frame. Okay, so if you, while identifying your element, you also take care like if it is inside a iframe. Okay, so if it is under iframe, so you have to handle this way, you have to switch to iframe, perform your action, then switch back to default content. All right, there are nested frame also. Okay, like this, there will be nested frames, and if I inspect this, okay, here you will see this is one frame. Okay, then we have another first frame. Inside this frame we have another frame. Okay, so this is not iframe element, but it is nested frames are there. So frame, there's another element HTML tag. Okay, so if it is like this, so you have to switch to this frames. This is the parent one. Inside this parent, we have child frames. Okay, suppose you want to get the text from here. All right. So, and then you have to see like inside this parent, how many other uh, frames are there. So only one is there, so that will be fine. Then again, we have this frame bottom, right? Here we have this one. Okay, so inside this, and it is inside this, yeah, the parent frame only. Let me, yeah. You see here, this one frame 1, this one frame 2, this one frame 3, left, right, middle, right, right? So inside this parent frame, we have 3 frames. Okay, so this is exercise for you guys to get the text from these frames. So first you have to switch to this frame, then you have to switch to this first frame, and here you can utilize the indexes. Okay, switch to first frame, switch to second frame, and then you can get the text of it. All right, team.